Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to fix your gaming laptop or any laptop heat issue permanently. So if you are here to fix your heat issue permanently, make sure you guys watch till end of the video, and I guarantee you guys don't have to watch any more videos in YouTube ever. So I have tried to cover all the points to optimize your laptop to avoid the heat issue permanently. So make sure you guys watch till the end, and after you watch this video, and if it works, just leave it a thumbs up and let me know whether it worked or not in your laptop by mentioning your laptop model and specs in the comments below. And if you have any queries and if you still face any issues, let me know in the comments below. I'm glad to help you guys out. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's go into the video. So now I'm playing the Horizon Zero Dawn game. So as you guys have noticed, I'm just playing just at a 30 fps and my CPU is going at like 72 93 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it goes beyond that, and my laptop will the game will crash due to the overheating of the CPU, which also in turn causes thermal throttling and sometimes power throttling as well. So I was actually facing this issue for a long time on lot of games. So what I usually do is I usually reduce the FPS to 30, and I used to play underperform my game, and usually used to play and manage the heat. And even when I play at high settings, I usually take my laptop to my AC room, and I usually switch on the AC for hours, and I used to play like that. But so that in turn caused a lot of power charges. So after a long research, even this COVID situation also has given me a lot of time to research it. I forgot to tell, my laptop spec is actually i7 7820HK processor, and also a GTX 1070 graphics card. So with this graphics card, whenever I see in YouTube that particular game performance, all the games perform more than 120 fps and considerable temperatures. But I was very upset that my laptop is not performing like that. I thought this is due to the a poor laptop design like that. Even a lot of people also complain that they are facing this same issue, and my laptop is Alienware laptop, and I thought okay, so this is a a manufacturing issue. Since I buy the laptop from the US, he is not returning anytime soon, so I was kind of upset, and I couldn't able to return the laptop in warranty, and I also couldn't able to repair it. Also, I actually bought this for more than I think $4,500 to be approximate. Okay, so I was very upset because of the heat issue. So yeah, nice. Then I actually the solution. So I wanted to share it with many of you guys. I know many of you would have got frustrated like me, and I wanted to help you guys to fix it forever. Since I found the fix, and I wanted to share it to the world, and I wanted to make the community better. Okay, so yeah. So if you guys see in the Horizon Zero Dawn game, even though I'm having 30 fps, my CPU goes till 70 to 93 degrees Celsius, and it even crashes as well. After applying all the settings which I'm going to show in the video, you guys can see it's only 66 degrees. It won't go more than 72 or something. So at 30 fps, even if I kept it 60 fps, it won't go beyond 70 degrees Celsius. After I found the solution, then only I realized that the laptop manufacturer didn't optimize our GPU and CPU to perform to perform at the efficient level. So I finally did all I could and found the solution, and yeah, so this is how what the output is. Okay, so this is a short story about how I found the heat issue, and how this heat issue will be a solution will be very useful for you guys. So yeah, let's go into the video. Okay, the step 0. In step 0, you need to download at least 2 programs, which I have given in the link in the description below. So these are the 3 programs. In this, you need to download only 2 based on your processor and graphics card. So mine is Intel, so I'm going to download XTU. So XTU is nothing but CPU optimization software that is provided by the Intel. So you need to download the latest version of the software. You can also see the whether your CPU is compatible with this software by just searching in the browser. So mine is 7820HK processor, which is compatible. So even if I click on it, it is going to show me this Intel Extreme tuning utility. So I need to click on it, and so it will come back to the same page only. So you can click on this XTU setup.exe and download it and install it. The second software you need to download is the MSI Afterburner. So yeah, this software is used to like optimize the GPU. So make sure you download it. So I have given the link in the description below. So once you go to this link in the description below, you don't have to download this Android app or remote server. You didn't download this MSI Afterburner only, not the beta version. Download the latest version. Okay. So the third one is the throttle stop. Either you can download this if you have the AMD GPU, or if you don't find any like a sufficient result on the XTU, you can download the throttle stop. Okay, so these are the three software which you need to download and install. So if you install XTU, make sure you don't install the throttle stop, because the main system may crash. So you just install any one. If you have the Intel CPU, just install the XTU. If you have the AMD, install the throttle stop. Step 1. Always run the games as admin. If you want to make the game to use the complete potential of your graphics card and the CPU, then always make sure you run the programs as admin. Either you can right click it and select the run as administrator option, or you can go to properties, go to the compatibility tab, and here you can check the run as administrator option and click on apply and press OK. So if you do this, the program will automatically run as administrator even without the right click and run as administrator option. The next step is undervolting the CPU using throttle stop or Intel XTU. My CPU is Intel, so I'm using the Intel XTU software. So mine is i7-820HK processor. So there are like two types of tuning. One is basic and advanced. So in basic, you can just use the underclocking or overclocking, but in advanced tuning, you can change the voltage that is going into the CPU. Okay, so to change this voltage, you just need to like select the core. By default, the core offset voltage will be 0 volts. So reduce it to -50, -60 and -100 and click on apply. After applying it, after a certain voltage, the system will start to crash. My offset voltage for my CPU is 120 degrees. It may vary for different CPUs. So you can go till 100, and from there 100 you can just reduce it by 10 to avoid any major crash issues. Similarly, after you find this offset voltage for core, you can apply that same for cache and also for the graphics. Make sure the offset voltages are set for all these three only: the core, cache and the graphics. You can also save this in a different profile, so you can easily switch between the default profile and this new profile in case if you face any crash issues. After saving the profile, you can go to the profile menu and you guys can see the new profile that you have just created. One thing to note here is these undervolt settings will work only if the software is opened and or running in the background. If the software is closed, these undervolt settings won't be applied, so you won't see any effect if the software is closed. So make sure the software is running before you do the gaming or any complex operations on your PC. to set up the throttle stop to undervolt the CPU in case if you don't have Intel CPUs. Then you guys can go to my channel, and in the videos I have already made a separate video on how to fix a overheating issue using the throttle stop. So you guys can also watch that video fully to see how to apply these undervolt settings using the throttle stop. I would recommend to use the Intel XTU, which works more stable than the throttle stop. But in case if the Intel XTU is not working for you, make sure you guys use the throttle stop, which I have made a separate video where you guys can check in the link in the description below. And the next step is underclocking the CPU or optimizing your CPU clock speed based on your application needs. Why we are underclocking or optimizing the clock speed of the CPU is you might notice some laptops comes with the overclock CPU. So the CPU will be running at a full clock speed even when it is an idle condition. Or for running small applications, the CPU will be running at a full speed. Okay, so first let's find the base frequency of my CPU, which is 7820HK processor. So the base frequency is just 2.90 GHz, which is enough for most of the high-end applications and also the games for 60 FPS speed. And I don't want to run my CPU other than this 2.90 GHz. So based on my testing of most of the games, almost all the game ran at 60 FPS at 2.90 GHz, and the maximum turbo frequency is 3.90 GHz, guys. So as I said, my CPU is an overclock CPU, so by default it runs at 3.90 GHz. So because of that, there is a lot of heat generated. So that's the reason why I'm undervolting to a base frequency. I can also change the frequency between this 2.90 and 3.90 GHz based on the application or game requirements. I usually overclock it to 3.9 or more than that only when I'm using PS3 emulator like that. So other than that, this 2.90 GHz is itself more than enough for me. Or if any CPU demanding games require more CPU clock speed, only for those games I actually increase the clock speed and save it as a profile. Okay, so to decrease the clock speed, you can select all controls. You guys can see here the ratio multiplier. So this ratio multiplier represents the gigahertz in terms of a numeric number. Currently it was 39, 38, 37, 36. So I'm going to reduce everything to 29 so that it will operate at 2.9 gigahertz base frequency. This can be also done using the throttle stop, the same video which I have mentioned in the previous step. So you guys can check that video to do the undervolting and underclocking. You can also save this as a separate profile. And as I said, you can save different clock speed frequencies for different application, and you can easily switch between those profiles. And you can also switch the clock speed by using these profiles, so you don't have to manually change each time for different games. Currently, I'm overriding into the same profile so that both the undervolting and underclocking happens using the same profile. Now you guys can see in the Intel XTU dashboard the package temperature, the max core frequency, and the CPU usage, everything got changed based on our values which we have set. Now the temperature is also constant at 50 degrees Celsius at ideal condition, which is really good. Okay, the next step is optimizing Windows power settings. I don't know whether it is a bug that Windows has introduced or it's introduced by the manufacturer, but this is the first fix which I found when I was trying to fix this heat issues. Right click on the battery icon in the taskbar and select the power options. You can also go through the control panel to the battery settings. And here you can select the balance board, select the change advanced settings, scroll down to the processor power management. Here you will see the two options. One is minimum power state, another one is maximum power state. By default, this maximum power state will be 100. So because of that, the power that is coming from the battery is giving fully into the CPU, and that causes heat issues or thermal throttling. So to avoid this, you need to give a value lesser than 100, something around like 95 or 90 or even 80 will work. So don't give even much or lesser than that, else your CPU will not get enough power to process the operations. So make sure you give this as I have shown, and you can just click upon apply and close the control panel. For me, 80% works for most of the games and applications, but if there is a game that demands a high CPU clock speed and power, so in that case I will increase it to up to 95 or to 98, so that time there is no thermal throttling issue. As I already said, so this is how you need to go to the power options through the control panel. You guys can also follow the steps which I have shown in the video. Okay, the next step is optimizing the GPU clock speed. There are certain cases in certain gaming laptops, the GPUs are also overclocked to run more than it can able to run. I was actually surprised to notice that my GPU was also kind of like overclocked and running more than the designated frequency. Okay, so my CPU is 1070 graphics card. If we just search for that in Google, and you guys can see the actual clock speed is just 1600 megahertz. Not only in this website, you guys can also verify it in other tech website about the base clock and the boost clock of your GPU. So after googling and research, I found that the base clock of my GPU is just 1500 plus megahertz, and the boost clock is 1683 megahertz only. Just same as given in the NVIDIA website as well. Okay, now we will see how to verify this clock speed is set in our system, and we will optimize it. Okay, to verify the GPU and optimize it, you need to open this MSI Afterburner. So I hope you guys have already installed this software. You can also achieve it through any theme. So I am using the default theme, which is the green color theme. In case if you guys have a different theme installed, you guys can change it by going into settings and scrolling to the user interface tab, and here you can select this version 2, my MSI Afterburner theme. Okay, after the theme selection, press Ctrl F to open the voltage frequency curve editor. Let me zoom in and show you what are the coordinates. So the y-axis represents the frequency and the x-axis represents the voltage. From the graph, you may have noticed the frequency set for the higher voltages is more than the boost frequency that my graphics card can handle. So we have to fix this. To fix this, you need to go to the lowest point where it is matching the boost frequency of 1600 megahertz. It's actually 1683, but I wanted to set it to less than 1683. So I will just pull down the points that is greater than or equal to 1600 as equal to 1600 megahertz. Let me fast forward it and do it really quick. The values will not be same, guys, so make sure you guys just look into that y-axis value only and make sure that it is 1600 megahertz. Okay, let me quickly bring down all the points. After reducing all the CPU frequency values, you guys can go to the MSI Afterburner dashboard, and here you can save it as a separate profile by clicking on this save button. So once you click on the save button, you guys can select any profile where you want to save this and click on apply. Once it is applied, now the GPU settings is also applied, guys. So now the GPU is also optimized to work at the desired frequency. Now if I can also switch back to its original state by pressing on 1, and I can also switch back to the new state, which is the optimized one, by pressing on the profile number 2. On selecting that, you guys can see like the performance changes in the graph. And for this also, you have to keep the application running. So to keep the application running at Windows Startup, you have to go to this settings and select this Start with Windows and Start Minimized. So once you select this, the MSI Afterburner will launch by default when you start the system. Next step is increasing the speed of the inbuilt fans. Some of the gaming laptops like my Alienware laptop has a fan performance mode that can be enabled from the BIOS. Unfortunately, I can't able to enable from the Windows, so this is the screenshot of the fan performance mode that can be enabled from the BIOS menu. So you just need to go to Advanced, and here you can select the fan performance mode. Some laptops supports third-party fan software, MSI, Acer, Asus gaming laptops, but this Alienware laptop doesn't support changing the fan speed from the Windows. I'll let you know if there is an alternative for this, but if you guys have any other alternate system, you guys can use this software. I have also given a tutorial link in the description below. Next step is the vacuum cooler or the cooling pad. This step is necessary when your stock fan performance mode fail you to cool the CPU and the GPU, or if you need additional cooling along with your stock fan performance mode, then you can buy this vacuum cooler. So what does this vacuum cooler does is this pulls out the hot air that is piled up in this laptop and it pushes out so that the laptop becomes cool. This mechanism works similar to how the air conditioner works, but instead of there is no cooling liquid or anything like that. So this just is going to pull out the hot air from the room and push it outside. Thus it cools the laptop. You guys can check in the link in the description below to buy it. Second is the cooling pad. So if you're tight on a budget, do check this cooling pad, just provided by the brand called Zing. It has 5 fans and it also have controls to control the speed of the fan and good lighting setup, and it is also very cheap. It doesn't provide much cooling, but yeah, it provides very good airflow and it works really well with the stock performance cooler. Consider this, a fan running inside your AC room. So the AC process is done by the vacuum cooler and this cooling pad does the fan. So combining this, the laptop will become even much cooler. There's also one more recently introduced a very popular cooling pad, which is a TopMate C11 cooling pad, which also gives an extra cooling of around 10 to 15 degrees based on your CPU alignment with the cooling pad fan. I have made a detailed review on that. You guys can check in the link in the description below. Furthermore, if you don't want to invest more money on the laptop cooling pad or the vacuum cooler, you guys can build your own custom cooler. I have built my own custom AC cooler that costs around only 1000 rupees, which the tutorial is given in the description below. Do check that out as well. Next is using resource optimized software for streaming and recording. Some softwares consume a lot of CPU and GPU, like for example the Streamlabs. Even though it has a lot of features, it also consumes a lot of CPU and GPU. If you don't have a system that has a high power CPU and GPU, then you can switch to OBS or NVIDIA's inbuilt NVENC encoder, Shadowplay, NVIDIA Broadcast, something like that, to reduce the temperature of your system. Next step is cleaning the dust in the fans. If the steps mentioned before is not working for you, then there might be a hardware issue. The hardware issues like cleaning the dust in the fans, or even you can open your laptop and you can clean all the dust. So that will improve the airflow in the laptop and thus decreasing the thermal throttling and also the temperature. The final solution. If the above steps, even after cleaning the dust in your laptop, if the temperature is too high, the only way is to replace the thermal paste. Replacing thermal paste varies from laptop to laptop, so you can go to YouTube and you can search for your laptop model and a thermal paste tutorial, and you guys can find a lot of tutorial on how to replace the thermal paste of your respective laptop.